Hey guys, here with another Trainer Confidential. We're going to go over a few things today, but the number one thing is this is the last pro show of the year, and the Japan Pro. We had this weekend. I believe it
Yep.
was like 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. Eastern or something like that. So it
Yeah,
was
it
an
was. Yeah.
oddball time, but we had that show. So we're going to go over that real quick. What did you think of that show, Donnie?
I mean, s- yeah, I think folks they powered down early. I mean, there were no huge names in it. None of
No.
the big names were in it and stuff. You didn't see Samson, nobody from the Olympia or any, well, but it wasn't a bad show. I think
No.
we're going to see how especially the winner, how he's going to use this to I mean, he's already qualified for next
Yeah.
Olympia. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing about this.
Yeah.
And so is he going to power down and just focus on that, or is he going to go full off season, or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. I agree. And Theo, so let's talk a little bit about Theo. That got first place. Well, one thing, this is a $16,000 purse, which is at minimum it can't be under 10,000 for the IBB for a pro show, as far as I know. So they added some money on the show, and I like seeing that. Like
Yeah,
we were talking earlier, there should be some more money in all the pro shows, but this is a start.
we talk
Um,
about it a lot.
yeah, this ain't bad. But Theo, you say how many shows have Theo done this year?
That was from whenever this was his 10th show. The record is 11. Milo
Wow.
Sarces, I believe he did that twice. He did
Wow.
11 shows in a year, and Theo he finished off with 10. So I know this is the
Wow.
last show of the year, so you know, and he looks surprisingly good. He doesn't look like figure you would really look kind of wore out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he
But
don't look bad at all. He don't look
yeah,
bad at all. But I mean, he's been competing the whole year, so he hasn't had an off season to speak of. So in his boat, like at this point in time, you take it well, and in Fritz too, he's done at least 6, 7 shows this year too.
yeah,
And
he's done quite a few too. Yeah,
and the thing about Roman, though, we've been watching him. He was doing good in the start, but then as the last few shows, he has not done very well. And I don't even think he made. I think he barely made top 10, and I think he was at the Prague Pro too. But
yeah.
this show he got fifth, so the lineup wasn't as deep. But talking about the physique in that sense, obviously both of these guys need to get more size. So what is a strategic way that they can really make an impact next year on their physique and really get what they need, because you got to have an off season to grow and to recoup. So what do you think would be a good idea for Theo, for example?
All right now. I mean, like I said, he's set up for the Olympia. You know, I would so the month is November.
Mm-hmm.
I would and the next Olympia isn't until the following November. I would say at least through till July.
Yeah.
He should be in size mode. You know,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know.
I agree.
I mean, the thing is he's perfectly set up to do a clean bulk.
Mhm.
Basically, what we're talking about, we're just talking clean bulking and stuff. So I mean, that would probably be the thing to do. That's
Mhm.
what I would do actually.
And maybe
You know,
do you think it'd be wise for him to do because he's already qualified for the Olympics, so reality he doesn't have to do anything and just
he
do
doesn't
the.
have to do anything.
Do you
He
think it
doesn't have
might
to
be
do
a good
anything.
idea, judging
He
that
he
he's.
may the thing. I think if he were a bodybuilder who had some issues with conditioning and stuff, then he would probably want to hit a show prior to that,
Okay.
just to
Okay.
make sure that he's on point come Olympia time.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is quite his issue. I mean, he held this for a
No.
very long time.
No.
So, I don't think conditioning is really his issue. What he needs to do is he needs to, put on some more size.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Same thing with Roman Fritz too. We got a picture of him in here. I think I do.
Yeah, the structures are great.
Yeah. Yeah. They just need more size. All these guys, he definitely needed some little better conditioning there. He's a pretty big dude. Jeez.
Yeah, pretty fairly impressive.
Yeah. Okay, there's Roman Fritz there. See, to me, he's starting to look a little worn out.
Yeah,
Uh,
unlike Theo, he looks, he looks. You can tell he's been competing for a while.
yeah,
He's been
yeah,
holding this for a while.
yeah,
And even that has its drawbacks.
yeah. And he's a very good bodybuilder. He needs to take a break, like you said, for the year. A good 4 or 5 months off, and then figure out what he wants to do. See what happens then, because
I would probably just do a full year. I
I
probably
think
wouldn't.
so.
Expect he didn't qualify.
Yeah,
So he's not qualified. I think what I would do, and he's still a young guy. I mean, come on,
yeah,
I'd take a full year, and then come back and try it again.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, so that's the last pro show of the year. So yeah, that's cool. I think we had the Shrew Classic also was this weekend. That was a classic physique show. I believe that was in Brazil or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, Dino guest posed over there, and
Oh, really?
yeah, I should have brought his page up, but he looks phenomenal full. Like he looked big, compared to when you see him on the Olympia, he gets shredded, but that amount of size he loses, it looks a lot different on him, right now than it does on stage at the Olympia. He just
Yeah,
I think this is a better look for him, but I don't think he can get away with it. I don't know what he's weighing, but his
yeah,
height, his class, he can only do so much. But it's almost like maybe they should raise the weight in his class a little bit more, uh,
yeah.
to make more of a complete package there. Because I mean, if you don't, I don't ever see him beating Chris Bumstead unless he doesn't compete, and something like that, because he needs to get a little bit bigger, and he doesn't have that problem. He probably cuts a lot of weight for a show, I bet. I mean,
Hmm.
oh yeah, he's like 260 on the off season is what he is. That's what I
Oh,
heard.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So but he looked phenomenal as guest posing, and it hasn't been that long off the Olympia. So
Yeah, they're still full. They're still pretty lean, but then they've been doing the eating, so now their muscles are full of glycogen, and
yeah.
you got you watered up the whole 9 yards. So yeah, you're gonna be, and you can't put fat on that fast.
Yeah,
If you diet, especially if you've been dieting for a while, it takes a while of you eating crap before that stuff really starts sticking on.
it does. Yeah, it does. I know for me, it takes me about 3 months to start getting some noticeable fat. After a show, when I do a show, it takes about 3 months. And for my weight to even budge, from my normal weight to actually start gaining weight, it takes about that too, it seems like, for me anyway.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's definitely something. Um, so let's talk about the Arnold coming up. So, and Samson.
absolutely.
So Samson, he's gonna do the Arnold. He already said he
Samson
was.
is in. Samson is throwing his
So
hat in.
that's awesome. I love watching Samson.
Defending champion.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So he's going to be doing that. We also, Nick Walker also, it's in his back pocket too, but I'm going to bring him up actually. But, with that injury he had, well, here's his hamstring right here. And you can see it, the inflammation there and stuff like that. So basically what he's saying is he is going to do the Arnold, but his body comes first, which it should. I don't think he has anything to prove anybody. He needs to be tip top. And just that's
let's
just
let's put him down as questionable.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
questionable. Yeah.
thinking.
But the big news of the day is Hadi Choopan. So
Yes,
there is rumors about him maybe doing the Arnold. Now that would be cool.
yeah, that would a Hadi and a Samson showdown that would come across pretty good.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Hadi obviously beat him at the Olympia. Do you think that would happen again?
I don't know. It just depends on, like I said, I don't think like if you take Derek and you take Samson, you take Hadi, let's just say those three right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that one particular bodybuilder can consistently beat the other ones. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It boils down to who's going to be the better bodybuilder that day.
that day.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
That's how close these guys are and stuff.
yeah. That's true. That's true. But we know what Hadi can do. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. So,
He's very consistent.
but Samson is getting pretty good at that too now.
He is. We'll see what Milos does. My question with Samson is, so do they sit on the size that he has and just focus on refining and detail, or do they try to push the envelope a little bit and stuff, and get him a little bit bigger and stuff, So
What
I'm
do you
kind of
think?
curious to see how.
What do you think?
Um, I think his frame, he can still put on a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, I think he can put on more to where he can add a little bit more of a freak factor, you
Hmm.
know, to him and stuff. And you throw that on top of the aesthetics,
Yeah. Game
and if
over.
Milos can get him nailed in on that conditioning, I mean, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
he's right now he is the biggest professional bodybuilder on stage, I believe, at over 300 pounds. So, but he's such a tall guy, and you're right, he's got room to fill out. He does. And he seems to be well, I mean, just from Arnold last year to now, he's put on significant changes, and that hasn't been a full year yet. So, what he's going to look like at next Arnold, I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll see what he brings. We'll see what he brings to the Arnold and stuff. I mean,
But
I'm expecting. Well, there's not a lot of time between now and the Arnold and stuff. So
not
I don't
really,
I don't
no,
think I don't think its conditioning is going to be off that much.
no, that's true. But we got another contender to think about too. That will probably also heard might be doing that, and that's Neckzilla. So
Okay,
he's already came out and said he's after Samson specifically. So
okay,
and
yeah,
yeah,
now he's a person that's got enough thickness and everything to where he can he
yeah,
can he can come in and try to do another show.
yeah.
He's as big as he needs to get, you know, and and he just needs to refine more.
He needs to refine and that muscle maturity because he's still a young bodybuilder. And he just won his pro card 2 days before the Evil's Pro. So, and then he won what, third place on, he got third place, I believe, right? Yeah. Third place on that show.
Yeah,
2 days later at his first pro show. So he's and he's pretty young. He's in his 20s.
I was about to say. So he's got youth on his side, the whole 9 yards.
So is that so he's got Chris Cormel training him in. I wonder if that's who his trainer is. That's Chris
Well, I mean,
Cornell
yeah,
back there.
Chris is he's a
Yeah.
great trainer. I mean,
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
he's definitely into hit training. That's for sure.
That was my next question is who's training him. But Chris Cornell kind of, yeah, I mean he yeah, he would be a good trainer. I wonder if he's training him or if that's just he would just meeting up with him at that point. But this guy
No, no,
is
we'll see.
he is
We'll
just the
see.
definition of a freak. I mean, it's and his neck. I mean, he's got his neck. That's why they call him Neckzilla. His neck just bulges out. I think he's got, in my opinion, he has the freak factor, but he just doesn't have the symmetry yet.
No,
And
not yet.
not yet. But he's such a big guy, and it's just all on his waist, really. If he brings down that waist, he's got it. I mean, in my opinion, because he's got the legs, he's got the X frame going on big time.
I don't. Yeah,
But
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
I don't know. So the only way around that is just to get your back bigger. And he needs some more back development too. If you see
Right.
him,
I think that's just his structure.
yeah, his
You
back
know.
double bicep though was one thing I was looking at. Let's see if it's on here. Yeah, here we go. So if you watch his back double bi, so there's the front shot. I mean, he's golden from the front. His quads are I mean, his quads
No,
are way
look at
bigger
look.
than Samson.
I mean, look at his quads compared to
Yeah,
everybody else's.
yeah. Even his calves are bigger than everybody else's. And those two guys, that's Crizzo and Samson. Those are big dudes. Very big dudes. I don't know what Crizzo's close to 300 pounds too. Uh, and I don't know what Neckzilla, what his weight was, but I mean, so you can see he needs some work in the, I mean, obviously Samson
Yes.
dominated this back lat spread here. but with a little work, I mean, he's got some work to do in the back, and I just don't.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets that, I mean, it's the generation of the freaks now, the
That's
mutant.
his pose right there.
Yeah,
That is
right.
his pose right
I
there.
thought he had the
That's
best
his
side
money
tricep
shot right
there.
there. Look at that tricep though, dude. I
Yeah,
mean, that is crazy. And
and
then
his delt just
it's
perfectly
that looks like
capped.
that looks like a cartoon right there.
Right.
You know, it's like, it looks like it's been photoshopped.
And look at his look at the side of his leg compared to Samson's. I mean, his hamstrings are
Yeah.
just falling off of there. His glutes are huge. Everything bottom. His whole physique is huge. There's really nothing that is bigger than something else, minus the smaller waist. He just doesn't have that small waist, and that's the only thing holding him back. I mean, in an aesthetic point of view, I think. But that just means he needs to get bigger on top. Well, he's only in his early 20s, so you know,
So I would definitely put him on definitely some heavy lat pulls,
yeah.
definitely heavy lat pulls, heavy pullovers, you know, uh, um, definitely some pronated rows, not so much inverted rows, but pronated rows where the palms are down,
Hmm.
to isolate that upper back, get some
Hmm.
detail in his back. I'd definitely be doing that. But yeah, he just needs to do a little blitzing on his back.
Yeah, he does. He
Probably
does.
use some more separation on quads
Here's
too.
what I was looking for right here. Here's the back double by here. So this is where it really kind of shows the he just doesn't have the detail like Samson has and everything. But I think those are small potatoes. I think with work, and a good coach, that'll be fixed in a year, I think. and
Yeah,
and then
definitely some pronated rows and lat pulls,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we should
But
be
look at the
good.
thickness he's got in his lower back though. He's got a lot of thickness down there too.
Yeah.
I assume I think we talked about this the other day. I bet he lifts really heavy. He's a heavy hit lifter like Coleman was.
I haven't seen any of his trainings yet. I've never really seen him train. So
No, I haven't either. I mean, he's like I said, he just got his pro card. I mean, he was in the
yeah.
Eagles Pro, so he just kind of blew up online. Is what happened.
Well, I
Uh,
tell you what, it'll be a heck of a match to see him and Samson on stage at that Arnold. And then you
right.
throw Hadi in there.
But what
I
if
mean,
Jack is in there too?
yeah, we'll check it out. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Jack.
I don't know
So,
either. I would assume that he's probably going to be doing the Arnold too. He did it last year. I would assume he's going to be in there too.
well, the thing that we know for sure is Samson is going to be there.
Samson's going to be
Nick
there.
Walker
Yeah.
is questionable.
Yeah.
Hadi, is, I mean, he I mean, the prize money is $300,000. I can see why a lot of good folks wouldn't want to go to that show. I mean,
Yeah.
not a lot of
Yeah.
people make $300,000. I mean, it's you pretty much set up for the year. So
Well, and you
I,
think, I mean, in a strategic point of view, qualifying for the Olympia this next year because there's only top three got it, so not the top five. So more people got to
right.
qualify. So it's about when do you do if you're not the top bodybuilder, when do you do a show? Do you do the Arnold up against Samson when you know you probably aren't going to win, or do you do a show a little bit later before the Olympia? Because people are going to have different tactics. They're going to go in there and they're going to get just like Theo and go in there and get their Olympia spot right off the bat and have the rest of the time to relax or well not relax but get ready for the Olympia. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have the others that are gonna do it in the last minute to try to after a lot of the big guys are already capped off basically. Uh that that one would be a hard decision there, or do you just do multiple shows trying to get that first place?
Well, I mean, I think it would probably depend on their circumstance. I mean, typically the guys and gals that are doing the Arnold, especially in open bodybuilding primarily. I mean, they're you got an incentive. You got 300,000 reasons, to do the Arnold. I
Yeah,
mean, and
yeah,
so that pretty much sets people up for like the rest of the year. You technically don't really have to work, at that
yeah.
point. Um, but then you may get some people that are they they um they know that for a fact they would probably be a solid second call out for the Arnold Classic, but there's no they're not going to really be a first call out,
Yeah.
because especially if it's pretty stacked. These folks, they may want to, hit another show to where they can probably make that top five or that top three, get a paycheck, and then qualify for the Olympia and sit back that way,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I mean, even if you pull, fifth place in Arnold, you're still walking away with a pretty big check, more than you would in a regular open pro show. So,
Yeah, pretty
uh,
much, yeah.
yeah.
But
So,
you, like I said, the only way you can qualify now is you have to win.
you
So
have to win. Yes.
you have to win. So you got to so these competitors got to be kind of strategic
Yeah, they're gonna have
on
to
how they
be.
pick their shows,
They're gonna have to
And
be. Yeah.
prize money doesn't necessarily have a it has some say to it,
Mhm.
but they're gonna try to do a show that they know that they can win. They have a
Yeah.
good possibility of winning in.
Yeah.
And if you're not in that top tier, and whatever that top tier is, I would say a previous Olympia competitor that made the top five,
Mhm.
top three for sure, but I'll even go as far as top five.
Mhm.
You get a top five competitor in any Olympia or even an Arnold Classic in some of the lesser shows, chances are that person is probably the favorite to win.
Like Brandon Curry, for example, because a good
Yeah,
example. He won
yeah.
Olympia. He pulled what, fourth this year. Yeah. So if he could pretty much dominate any regular
Yeah,
pro show for the
if he
most
goes
part.
to any of the lesser shows and stuff, I'd say nothing less than
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
second or third. He will top three.
I
You
agree.
know,
What if
yeah.
you're like what if you're like Theo though? At his point right now, what would your game plan be if you wanted to try to make the Olympia? Oh, excuse me, he already made the Olympia. Let's talk about
Right.
Roman. Give him a year. He took a year off, okay? And he's got to qualify, and because he's not a top tier bidder, but he
Right.
wants to move up the ladder. What would be the strategic thing for him? How would he pick those shows, you think?
So what I would do if I were him, I would do I would do the Japan Pro next year.
Okay. Okay.
Take a whole year, do the Japan Pro next year, and then prep for the E Cup. I mean, and then prep for the Olympia.
That's a
Prep for
good
the Olympia.
idea. That's a good
That's what I'm
idea.
thinking.
Yeah,
That's
because
what
if
I'm
he
thinking.
don't get that show, he can hit another one to still win it, but he's got enough time there.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have more time to grow.
Yes.
Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's
I
a
would
really
yeah
good idea.
I would do the Japan Pro next year.
Uh,
Okay, qualify again. You know, shoot for the Olympia. That's what I would do.
that yeah, that makes the most sense. That is that. I wonder what he'll do. I don't know who coaches him or anything, but yeah, he's got a great physique, so he's got a lot of potential too, and he's young. If you're young and you
Yeah,
and you got a lot of potential, you can just go up. So if as long as the
and that
stars line.
right, and that would depend. I mean, if he's like right around about June, I mean, well, June, July, and he's up like 15 to 20 pounds, you
Mm,
know, then yeah, I mean, okay, let's see if we can give it a, do a show and not well, he wouldn't even have to do that because he's already qualified.
yeah, yeah,
He's
you're right.
already qualified, you
Yeah.
know. And so, yeah, I mean, he could probably do the Olympic. That's if he shows significant gains between now and let's say July,
Okay. All right. That
maybe
makes
even
sense.
August. Yeah, maybe
That
even
makes sense.
August.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. Now, the other Arnold, we have Arnold Brazil, there's Arnold UK, there's Arnold
yep,
Australia, right? Just four of
yep.
them. So they don't all pay 300 grand, do they?
I don't think they all pay 300 grand,
Yeah,
but
so just the Arnold in the States does. I
mhm,
wonder what
mhm.
the other Arnolds do pay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have to look that up.
But Arnold won't go. He won't go skimpy on it. I think that's more of a. I think that's more of a. What am I trying to say here? It's to where you get an entity, they buy the name, they're just using the name. It's more the branding. I don't think he's really doing it. I think that someone
Oh, I
It's
see.
there's a word for it. There's a word for it, and they're using the name
Sure. Okay.
like a franchise almost.
So they probably they could just get 10,000 a show at the bare minimum then.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now Andrew Jack won the UK last year, right? He won the UK one. I think he did.
I can't remember right off the bat.
I think he did. And if he did, obviously that's probably something Andrew Jack is going to do. He's probably going to do that show. The Arnold Brazil's a big show too, though, because Brazil's pretty big in bodybuilding. It's becoming really big, just like the
Yeah,
Middle East is.
I
Kuwait
think
and
that's the one Sergio Oliva was supposed to have done.
yes, it was. It was. Yeah, that's the one he was supposed to do.
Hmm.
And he probably would have got that show too. Although if you remember, I think it was the Toronto Pro. Remember, he finally was able to come over here and he just jumped into a show right off the bat,
Yeah,
had no prep,
yeah,
and he got like fifth or something like that. But
yeah.
that dude's big. Sergio is very big. He just wasn't ready for the show. Why he jumped in it, I don't know. But that's all we got from him last year. We're gonna see a lot more from him this year, I bet. I mean, I'd like to see a lot more from him. So
Right now, see, he's kind of like all over the place a little bit
he
right
is.
now.
He is.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's got some stuff going on in his life and stuff, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But he's not. I mean, he said he was going to be doing a lot of competing this year. So,
Well,
because
we're gonna
I wanted
find
to see
out
him
then.
on. I wanted to see him on the Olympia stage this year, but didn't pan out. But yeah, that'd be cool to see him up there. So, well, I think that's all we got. Unless you got something else.
I'm good to go, man.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. You got any comments? Put in the comment section. And that'd be about it. Thanks for watching, guys.